Gator boys do it again, and we stay hot. Billy Napier goes out, snatches a big one from the grasp with Texas, and four-star defensive tackle Kendall Guervil, someone who I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about as an elite recruit come signing day. You look at his rankings right now: 117 on On3, 77 on 247, 216 on ESPN, and unranked on Rivals. But we do know On3 and Rivals, they're scouts are combining together to make one ranking. So if maybe they favor On3s a bit more, that's probably going to help him boost up the rankings from his current composite ranking of, I put it away, but his composite rankings
140,
right?
Yeah, 146.
146, but as I said, 77 on the 247 composite. This is someone I would not be shocked at all if he ended up finishing as a top 100 or even higher type of player. And it's really someone that we haven't gotten in a long time. The last defensive tackle that we got that was like highly ranked, Gervon Dexter?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, can you think of anybody else that we've got since Guervil that was like even inside the top 200?
Honestly, not off the top of my head. I think that might be the last one.
Because last class you bring in McLeod, who we've heard some good things about, and Joseph Mbachu, very raw player. But, go to the class before, LJ McCrae's an edge guy. Will Norman was ranked 197, I think. But he ended up transferring forward one season, I believe. So it's like, and that's barely top 200.
Yeah.
And, looking at the class 2023, like, nope. So, yeah, this is the highest guy we've gotten since Gervon Dexter. And looks like he's someone that could, I think, finish really high. And you look at those top schools, Texas was a team everyone thought he was going to go to, and he was going to round out Texas's defensive tackle class along with Bonnie Cleveland and two other guys they got. But we're able to snatch this one away. I'm a bit shocked we were able to snatch this one away because he announced his commitment date while he was on his visit at Texas. Got like 6 or 7 predictions to end up going to Texas. But then Saturday night, Sunday morning, I started hearing the buzz of, hey, we have a legitimate chance at getting Kendall Guervil. And it was on the cusp of hearing that we're probably not going to get Trenton Henderson. So it's like, oh no, everything's going bad. This is just a rumor to boost up the morale. But nope, then predictions start coming in. And this is really a big one for us, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the tide turned here really quickly. This went from being like one that it looked like Florida was just kind of out of the race for to like, hey, there's still a very real chance here. I mean, I don't know about you, but this kind of felt like a must get, in my opinion. I think especially in the wake of the Trenton Henderson news, like you said, obviously not official there yet, but looks like he's going to LSU. So, I think you really needed to get this to kind of try to salvage the defensive line class here. I mean, especially after losing, like you said, Bonnie Cleveland to Texas as well, have kind of had some, I don't want to say whiffs, but just, some battles you've come out on the wrong end of. This was one you really needed to have. And it's a really intriguing player because like you said, it's that interior, that really strong, high level blue chip interior presence that Florida's just been lacking, in recent years. I think a guy that if you were on the team this year, I think could maybe compete for early playing time because we know that there's an opening there. So, just really potentially impactful get. And I mean, he's a mauler. Like you watch his film, not a lot of sack production, but 88 tackles last year as a junior, 12 for loss. Yeah. And I mean, when you watch the tape, like you can see how he racked up all those tackles. I mean, that dude gets in the backfield so fast. He's a menace in the run game. So, I mean, we'll see how that translates, but pretty good size out of the box already at 6'4.5", 315.
Yeah. It's like you're getting one of those big body guys that can rack up tackles, stop the run game, has the quickness though, to still get sacks and opportunities when given to him. I mean, we've seen Chapman, how he's been able to develop some of our defensive linemen over the past year here. So you can do wonders with him, but you're just getting one of those big bodies and hoping you can grab an edge. You got McCoy, Draylen McCoy, top 125 recruit to go play that defensive end / F position. It looks like we're going to miss on Henderson, but you're still looking really good for KJ Ford. There's still a lot of time for Jake Krull, so you can go get those edge rushers to go alongside those big body tackles. And that seems to be what their recipe is for a stacked defensive line. And you look at it right now, you got Burrow and Lyons on the inside to go with Caleb Banks and Tyreek Sapp, and then, hopefully one of Gums or LJ McCray are able to be a really good edge presence as well. So you see the formula that they have and that they want to go for. I mean, getting Guervil is a good step. You lose on Cleveland. The word around Sohn, I'm hearing it's not very good right now. So you're probably not going to get him. And you also lose James Johnson. May not have been in it for him for a while, but still goes to Georgia, not Florida. So you had to get Guervil. And you're still hoping you have a chance to get a Sohn or a Vodney Cleveland later on down the road.
Yeah, I mean, Florida, I think here has the opportunity to potentially kind of salvage this defensive line class pretty nicely, considering it's the area where they've kind of had the most swing and misses so far. But I mean, like you said, already with Draylen McCoy in the class, if you can go and close with a KJ Ford, maybe try to flip, a Vodney Cleveland or turn the tide with Sohn as you did with Cleveland. Maybe, I think there's a real path here to this becoming, I think, a defensive line class that we feel pretty good about, which is kind of crazy because I'm not sure either of us really felt like when the Henderson news came out, I'm not sure either of us felt great about the prospect of salvaging this defensive line class like that.
Yeah, I mean, Sunday night, right after the show, I was like, man, it's got me a little bummed out that we're going to miss out on Henderson, a guy that, Rivals has unranked, and we mentioned earlier with Guervil, how all that could shake out. It's like a guy that could legitimately be a 5-star player. 247 had him as a 5-star, and it's like really had me bummed out. But, we go ahead, we get Guervil, got to hold on to him, obviously, but it's a good start. You're hoping to end up getting CJ Hester tomorrow, Malik Morris, some other guys that commit in the near future. So it's like, this class, it's probably not going to be an elite class. You're trying to hope maybe you can replicate last year with less having to do everything in November and December. But you can keep this class in that top 10 range and, have a successful season, get some more money in from your boosters and everything. And maybe you can turn it into a top 5 class. I think that would be like the real goal here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think you're right that as of right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be an elite class. But I mean, as we saw last year, things can change pretty quickly. If Florida comes out and has the kind of season that restores confidence in Billy Napier, completely, I think maybe you see that change. Like you said, maybe more money starts coming in. But, I think this weekend, is going to kind of tell us a lot about that trajectory or the next week or so in general, I should say. A lot of guys committing in the next few days. Obviously, so far, didn't get Preston Carey the other night. We both were watching that one. That was just a bizarre across the board. Everything about that one was a bizarre commitment ceremony, but did not get him. Not sure that, not even positive he was a take at that point. Well, who knows? But good start here with Guervil. Hopefully you can keep that momentum going in the next couple of days with several more guys set to announce their commitments.
Something I think is real interesting right now. Currently, we have 6 commits inside that top 200 ranking. In our 2025, our 2024 class that had Lagway, Graham, McCray, like 3 top 50 players. And we also had Aaron Childs and who am I forgetting? That was also top 100. I'm forgetting somebody, but we had 5 players inside the top 100, but we had nobody inside the top from 200 to 100. So now it's you're still looking at some other pieces, talk about Hester, talk about Forkba, Morris, some other guys later on down the road. You're looking to try to get double-digit top 200 players. It might not be as stacked of a top-heavy class as you had last year and the year before that, but the depth in the middle of this class is looking to be what the strong suit of this is going to be. And if you can continue to stack it with a couple elite players, it's a formula that I think in today's era of college football, with all the transfer portal, teams losing a bunch of their talents and bringing in new guys, where if you can keep your guys who are talented enough to still compete at that high level, I think you could have a formula that could really work out. A question here for you. Do you think this is our most important commitment so far of this cycle? Because I think I would say that.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of having that same thought process. I mean, I think you'd be hard pressed to say anyone else. I mean, I think, there wasn't really, I mean, Draylen McCoy was a really nice pickup, but this is one that you really had to battle for. And I mean, look, man, beating Texas for a defensive lineman is no joke. The way that program has recruited and developed along the defensive line the last few years, there's a lot of proof of concept there, and it's really hard to recruit against. So I think this is like, I'm not sure he is as a player the most important, but I think this is definitely the most impressive win on the trail for the staff this cycle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Bro now top 100 player, also very high ceiling there with him. So it's or could jump up the boards as well. So he may not be the highest ranked player, but you know, you got Ben Hanks last cycle, Flowers. We'll see. You're probably gonna get Hester, but and McCoy, it's like you got Jalen Wiggins as a top 150 player in the last class. Got Cam James to back up Sap there. So it's like you have depth at those positions to where if you missed out on a guy this cycle, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But at defensive tackle, we just don't. I mean, there's good reports on McLeod and Mbachu, and we'll see what Brendan Bed is when he gets on campus here in fall. So it's like we'll see what happens there. But like much more valuable pieces these guys are, or this guy is for the overall team.
Yeah, and if one of those guys, like a Brandon Bed or a Jamari Lyons or Mekhi Barrow, like if one of them doesn't emerge as the guy, you know, I think you could see Kendall Guervil come in and compete for early playing time because it's going to be a need again. You know, assuming you don't go out and portal someone really good, you know, between him and Banks leaving, like, or between that spot and Banks leaving, like, you're going to need help along the interior of the defensive line. So there's going to be opportunities abounding. And I think this guy might be versatile enough to kind of be able to play in a couple different areas along the interior. I mean, and like you were mentioning earlier, you know, he's really only the Rivals ranking changing, you know, away from becoming a top 100 guy, probably, like almost certainly actually. So, you know, certainly right now, a really nice kind of middle of the road pickup, but maybe one, like you said, we're looking at as an elite pickup in a few months. So, regardless, even if that doesn't happen, I think this is a really impactful addition and a nice win for the staff.
Yeah, not sure if we talked about it, but he's 6'4.5", 315 pounds. So he has some, I don't know, like if it's good or bad way. Don't know how much more he needs to get in shape, but he could
probably fair to assume
earlier.
a lot of it's bad. Like high school guys, I think it's fair to assume a lot of it's bad usually, but still.
Yep. But it's nice to go and steal one away from Texas. You know, we lose Cleveland there. Then Henderson, you know, everyone thought if we were going to lose him, it would be to Texas, but it probably is going to be LSU. He commits at 7 today. So we'll see what happens there. But it's nice to get a big one here. But the next commit, you might ask, probably will be CJ Hester, commits tomorrow. 4-star corner out of Cocoa. Good player. Second corner in your class. It's nice to have one of those top 100 guys. And then Hester, a guy that should be a real good program and some player and someone who could still actually be a really good corner for this team.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we both feel pretty good about that one, but obviously got to wait and see for it to become official. But I think Florida has the chance. I think in the next few days, this class is going to add at least 2 or 3 guys that are gonna boost that ranking a little bit.
Yep. Thank you guys for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be live Sunday night, or at least I will be. We have to figure out if the Tuno is going to be able to. Got 4th of July stuff, so we'll see what ends up happening there. But thanks for watching. We will see you guys hopefully tomorrow for another commitment video. If not, I'll at least be here Sunday night. Make sure you leave a like on the channel, subscribe, comment on the video, check out all of our other stuff we do. It's great stuff here. Really starting to build up more momentum on the channel before the season. We're hoping to keep building a little bit, and then hopefully we take off during the season. And the team also has a big surge and getting some big wins and stuff. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. And as always, go Gators.